The goal of yoga is yoga itself, union itself, of the little self and the true self, a process of awakening to the pre-existing union that is called yoga. Yoga has to do with the realization, through direct experience, of the center of consciousness, the pre-existing union between Atman and Brahman, Jivatman and Paramahatman, and Shiva and Shakti, or the realization of Purusha standing alone as separate from Prakriti. Awareness manifests outward to the world. Yoga, Sankhya, Vedanta, and Tantra view the human as manifesting outward, step by step, where the subtler consciousness projects ever more outward and then gradually forgets those subtler levels. Genesis also explains this outward movement when seen through the eye of the yogi or mystic. In yoga, each aspect is trained. Yoga is complete unto itself. In yoga, each level of our being is trained independently, while also being trained to flow together. The systematic processes deal one by one with our actions in the world, senses, body, breath, and both the conscious and unconscious aspects of mind. Awareness recedes to the state of yoga. Yoga, or union, is attained by first training, balancing, and purifying each of the aspects of our being individually, and then systematically receding attention inward through those levels, expanding so as to experience the state of union, yoga, samadhi, or turiya. Body and breath. The yoga practices with body and breath bring health benefits and balance in life. However, many people stop at the breath and are unwilling to explore or train the mind. It is like building a wall between the yogic stages of breath and mind. Some sincere seekers delay out of fear. Others incorrectly believe that yoga is only about physical fitness. The key for the sincere seeker of the highest joy of yoga is to be gentle and loving towards yourself, and persist with all levels of yoga, including directly dealing with the mind itself. The conscious mind. Mindfulness of the emotional and mental processes of the conscious mind is very stabilizing. In yoga, this includes meditation and contemplation on attitudes of friendliness, lovingness, compassion, and acceptance. It means cultivating non-harming, truthfulness, non-stealing, remembering of truth, and non-possessiveness. However, many stop at this level of mind and effectively build a wall between the conscious and unconscious, not willing to explore the depths of the unconscious. Many get stuck here by thinking the goal of meditation is only a calm mind. For union, yoga, samadhi, or turiya, the streams of thoughts in the active unconscious mind need to be encountered, explored, and only then transcended. The active unconscious. By allowing the active unconscious to come forward and be witnessed in a neutral way, the thought patterns colored with intense attraction and aversion gradually weaken, allowing a greater peace and freedom of mind. This is one of the most direct ways to deal with the purifying, centering, or balancing of troublesome thoughts. However, few go beyond the boundary between the active unconscious and the latent unconscious. The active unconscious has alluring visions and sounds. Only the most dedicated yogis and yoginis are willing to completely transcend sensory experience of both external and internal objects, and to pursue the formless, latent level out of which the active arises. The latent unconscious. To be fully aware of the latent unconscious is a very deep state and an aspect of advanced meditation. Authentic Yoga Nidra reaches this latent unconscious level with practice. It is underneath, beyond, or prior to the pictures and words of the active unconscious. It is the ground out of which those emerge. All sensory experiences, such as sights and sounds, have been left behind, whether of external worldly objects or inner images. To consciously rest in the awareness of the latent unconscious is to be filled with bliss. However, there comes a point where individuation itself is the final wall, and even the bliss needs to be transcended. Even for the experienced practitioner, this can be a great obstacle. It is beyond the mind in the conventional sense of mind. So the mind can no longer be an aid. Body and breath cannot help. It is only surrender that finally helps. Realization. Whether you call it grace, God, Guru, Shaktipat, or some other name, the greatest help of all finally comes from within to remove the final barrier of ignorance or avidya. This final stage is a process that has been called piercing the pearl of wisdom, or bindu. A yogi or yogini does not debate whether the realization is called yoga, self, Atman, soul, or God, etc., but rather lives in the world while not being of the world. The realized yogini or yogi lives like a lotus flower. The lotus is both in the world, yet not of the world. It grows in the soil and water of the world, yet rises above it at the same time. It goes outward, called adhyasa, but it is not blinded by avidya or ignorance of its true nature. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. In your meditation today, may your body be still and comfortable. May your head, neck, and trunk be aligned. May your breath be smooth, slow, serene, and with no pauses. May the flow of thoughts in your mind not disturb you. May your meditation today bring you peace, happiness, and bliss.